a rule in my neighborhood. If you walk your dog and your dog does his business in somebody else's yard, you need to get a little plastic bag, pick it up, and dispose of it. And I know the dogs are confused. The dog's like, wait a minute, you're taking it back home? Why did we have to walk 3 blocks? I could have pooped in the living room, saved us both some embarrassment. What a stupid rule. Why would they have us pick it up? It's fertilizer. It makes the grass grow. Lord, it's not like some child is going to step in it. A kid hadn't played in the yard since 1982. You know what's sad? We have an entire generation that has no idea how to get dog poop off the bottom of their shoe. But when I was growing up, we played in the yard every day, and every day somebody stepped in dog poop. And when it was your turn, you knew what to do about it. You would hobble over to the curb and scrape the biggest part off on the edge of the curb. Then you would find a puddle and you would swirl the bottom of your shoe around in the puddle. Then limp over to the grass and do the brush stroke back and forth. Then you would find a little bitty piece of stick and you would sit down on the curb and you would pick it out of the zigzag pattern on the bottom. Then you wore those shoes to church the next day. And nobody in that church knew you'd stepped in dog poop. See, when it comes to technology, my wife and I laugh about this because we're in our mid-50s and my wife says we are the baloney in the technology baloney sandwich. We're right in the middle because our parents can't text and our children can't write. My kids don't even think you need to study. They're like, Dad, if you want to know something, you just Google it. And to a point, they're right. I mean, when I was growing up, if you were watching TV and somebody said, what was that guy in? You'd go, well, he looks familiar. That was it. Now you're watching TV, somebody goes, what was that guy in? Somebody goes, he was the janitor on Joey. Of course he was. But I try to tell my kids, I said, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can learn from Google. I said, but there's just as much stuff you can't learn from Google. You only learn it from life experience. You'll usually learn most of it the hard way. It's stuff that's not Googleable. I don't know if that's a word. But I call them the facts of life. It's stuff you can't Google. Like this, fact of life. If you are trying to get to the bathroom in an emergency situation, it is not a wise idea to unbutton your pants in transit trying to save a couple of seconds. Because the muscles that guard the floodgates will interpret the unbuttoning as the signal to abandon their post. And the 2 seconds you saved on the button are nullified by the hour and a half you spend mopping and doing laundry. You only learn that the hard way. Fact of life. If you are going to see a scary movie at the movie theater, it will be much more entertaining if you can find a seat directly behind a group of black women. Because not only will you get the scary movie, you will also get their running commentary of the scary movie. Oh, look at this. She running around in her panties like that. Girl, put some drawers on. And put that hair up before he snatched that weave out your head. Now, can you see this girlfriend? She going back in the house. No, she going down to the basement. Girl, get your shit and get out there now. Fact of life, women always have more questions than men have answers to. Great example of this. 6, 7 months ago, I get a text one day. The text says, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. I walk into the kitchen where my wife is. I said, hey, I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. She said, was he driving? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. Were Carol and the kids in the car with him? I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. Were the people in the other car hurt? I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. What hospital did they take him to? I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. She said, well, you don't know anything. What do you know? I know you need to pray for Tom. I just got a text that said he was in a bad wreck. Actually, on the last special, we listed all these ways for people to tell if they were a redneck or not. And then I come to Texas and people are going, you left a bunch of them out. So we'll do round two for you here. See how many people qualify. Proud father of two little girls. Their ages are 7 and 9. I live next door to my brother. He has 3 children. They are all girls. Their ages are 5, 7, and 9. My mother has 9 grandchildren. They are all girls. The oldest one is 11 years old. I live in the Estrogen Ocean, in the middle of the naked Barbie Woodstock. Naked Barbies as far as the eye can see. There's days I have fantasies about being G.I. Joe on a 3-day pass, you know. Hello, ladies. Guess who just got paid? But I tell you something else. I've learned a lot about girls. And one of the things I've learned is girls can sometimes be a little bit more emotional than boys. Y'all, I spend half my life trying to figure out what people are crying about. I'm like, honey, calm down, and just tell me what happened. Well, I came in and I was going to go upstairs and play with them, but then they locked the door and they called me a stupid head and they said I couldn't be in their club and I was looking for you and I was calling you and calling you. I'm like, honey, calm down. You're going to scare the children and just tell me what happened. Because men have no idea what to do with a crying girl. And it doesn't matter if she's 5 or 25 or 75. See, men have no idea because we've been taught all our lives not to cry. That's why when we grow up, we can be out cutting firewood with our buddies. We'll take that chainsaw, saw our leg off at the knee. We're like, I'm all right. Throw the leg in the cooler, hand me a beer, I'm all right. And I tell you something that I have learned from these kids. Kids today are so much smarter than we were growing up. My oldest daughter, on her 5th birthday, asked for and got a computer. 5 years old, gets a computer. She can use it right out of the box. A computer, 5 years old. Remember what we got when we turned 5? A little wooden paddle with a rubber band and the red ball on the end of it. That was a brain builder, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You'd hit it about 4 times, the rubber band would snap, the ball would fly across the room, break something, and you get a spanking with the paddle. No wonder we turned out this way. Oh, and nowadays you can't even spank your kids. No, got to give them a time out. My dad would take time out of his busy day to whip our butts, man. But truthfully, there are a ton of things that have changed for kids in just like a generation. I was doing a TV show not long ago, and they were asking, it was kind of more serious questions. And one of them, they said, what's your earliest recollection in life? And I thought of a garden with a smoker's cough. Could I please have a crayon? Do you know, I remember as a child, my mother used to leave me, my brother, and my sister in the car while she ran into the grocery store real fast. If you did that to a poodle now, they would fry you on the 6 o'clock news. And I'll tell you something else. Now that I'm grown and have kids of my own, I understand why my mother didn't want to take 3 youngins in the grocery store. I would rather take a beating with a brick stick than take kids in the grocery store. The grocery store, try to get those kids down. Cereal. You know why? Because little kids buy cereal the same way grown men buy lingerie. They will buy stuff they care nothing about just to get the prize that's inside. Everything's changed. Even their toys have changed. Like I noticed last Christmas, every toy. What were they thinking? Some of the toys they gave us. Lawn darts. 12-pound darts. You could kill an elk with a lawn dart. And there were no directions to them. They just came in a box of 8. We used to pull them out of the box, throw them straight up in the air.